And what we created is a Python code that can create a PowerPoint of any building, dorm or non-dorm, and compare the current week's value to the previous week's value of how more or less they're using of a certain resource. As you can see, this example is using Taylor Tower. And when we do a dorm, we like to include the first thing to be our challenge, which is like Taylor Tower uses 56.1% more total energy than Bush House. And this is so that we can use that competitiveness between students to be channeled more into an energy conscious way of trying to not use as much energy. And at the end, we also included uh, some randomly generated tips from our code. Now, how do we do this? Well, we can show you an if-else statement to consider if it's more or less than the rival building, and then it will stylize it based on if it's more or less. And if it's not a dorm, then it will do basically the same thing, except that it would not calculate for a rival. And you can see that it's a lot of if else because we want to consider the times when they're doing good and when they're doing bad by changing it to green or blue or changing the sentence here or there. So you can see it's all the way down for each parameter we're trying to look at. We create our PowerPoint. So as you can see, here's the question. Is it a dorm? Well, let's say yes. Okay, what dorm should we do? I say Smith, Steve, Hall. What should the rival be? I say it should be Baker Hall. Before we do that, you must remember from the README file that we cannot have the PowerPoint open while we're creating the new one. Baker Hall. Oh, and it looks like it's created. So where do we find it? We go back to the repository, we click my pptx, the resource consumption of Smith Steve Hall. You can see that compared to Taylor, there is more data points available to us because the original file had more data available for Smith Steve. So it's able to be dynamic for whatever we're looking at. And we see this code as being very important when considering, okay, how do I quickly analyze what we did this week compared to last week and send it out? And it's easy. You just need to write the names, if it's a dorm or not. That's all you needed to do. And of course, we need to also check the case when it's not a dorm. Is it a dorm? No. What building do I want to check? I want to check the North Recreation Center. Okay, so let's check the PowerPoint. And yeah, it did it for non-dorm buildings as well. And with that, I would like to say thank you, and hopefully you enjoyed our presentation.